This Christmas. Baby, please come home. It's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here.
Hey, good morning, everybody. 16 shopping days left until Christmas. Can't wait. Favorite time of year. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash, Brent. Thanks to everybody on the No Bull Network, Magic, KTMV TV. We're glad you're here. Roku, YouTube, Facebook. Like and share, like and subscribe. Get all those algorithms on the social media working so that the kids in Australia can find them in 2 years when they turn 18.
Isn't that something? We'll get into that in a minute. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Feed. It's funny to me, I guess maybe because it's clear, it just says it's 37 degrees, and I don't guess it feels like anything different.
No.
Now, what is different about today than yesterday? I'm really being
Less
sincere.
humidity?
You think that's it?
I think that's it.
37 degrees in Victoria, Texas, heading to a high of 67.
Well, they did say there's a freeze warning until I think 8 o'clock for some outlying areas outside the city.
Out there in the country with people like torn bales, there might be a little
A
frost.
little frost on the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Hello, country bumpkin.
There you go. Who sang that song? Bobby Bear?
No, what was it? It was a girl, wasn't it?
I don't know. I know a male sang it.
Yeah, it was a girl part. Yeah.
And you know what that makes me think of?
need to find
What was the song? What was the song by the Oak Ridge Boys about she'd been drinking way too hard, she'd been drinking way too long? You know, the Christian group, the Oak Ridge
Yeah.
Boys,
No, that was the Statler brothers.
right? Yeah. You know, I've been trying to put a new spin. Speaking of that, I was thinking like that'd be like the Catholic version. She'd been drinking way too hard, drinking way too long. I keep thinking
Only wine.
we're now in the Baptist church. We do these little like Lunchables for the Lord's Supper for communion. It's like a Lunchable. It is. You peel one layer and you
That's
get this
a
little
great visual narrative of
You
what
get
that
like
is.
a little wafer, you know, and then you
I
peel the
actually like
next
the
level.
wafers. A lot
Well,
of people don't.
There's no flavor, but you
That's
get
because I grew up in the Soviet Union and had nothing but boiled potatoes.
you peel the other layer and you get like the juice and it's nice.
Thank you, June. Cal
Smith,
Junior,
thank
Cal
you,
Smith.
Junior, so much for that. Hello.
Not to be
Country
confused with
Bumpkin.
Tal Smith.
No, who was the general manager for Terry Poole.
Yeah.
But I went to our pastor, Mike Hurt, he's got a great sense of humor, especially for a Christian guy. Those of you that go to church will understand that. And I told the pastor, I said, look, in honor of Mexican Heritage Month, which was just a couple of months ago, could we have a new take on communion and maybe do like chips and queso instead of the wafer and the Lunchable? And he said, only if it's gluten-free. So we have that going for us in the Baptist church, where we're always creative and innovative, because we're certainly, progressive, right? And we're redundant over there in the Baptist church.
I remember going to the Catholic church as a kid, and everybody shared from the communion cup. Everybody took their little drink, and then the priest would wipe it with his little
Sure.
holy cloth.
Speaking of
And
COVID,
the next one.
yeah, you just wipe it with your sleeve.
Yeah.
Did they get upset when you were like, third time through?
I'd take it from his hand
me
and start
that.
chugging. No,
Give
just
me
kidding.
that. Andrew Everest says salsa is closer to wine. That's true. We could do chips and salsa. That would work.
A
I was
little
just thinking
balsamic
queso.
vinegar in there, and you're getting closer.
I've never felt much closer to the Lord than when I was eating Veracruz, chips, and queso. So I was just thinking, for me, that might work.
BJ Nelson, good morning. Who's on the podium this morning? I didn't check to see. Stephanie Connie was in. Greg Garcia, Ricky King on the podium this morning.
Marvin Mickish, Scott Tomko, Mark. A lot of men. There's Rena.
Torrin Bales, good morning. Rena and Micah Patton, Linda Chris, Ed Stewart, Heather Stewart,
Hi, Heather.
Alvarez, Mark Cepeda.
Hey, Mark.
Keeling,
See, if you'd have been there the other night,
Leanne Knowles, Crystal Mapp,
you would have been at the party. that you were
Console
invited to,
1228.
where it was pointed out that that's 2 years in a row you had missed. By
I
the
was
host.
only invited 1 year.
No.
This year.
Last year, he said you missed also. And Mark did a fantastic job.
Texas Continentals, right?
Yeah, he did a deal that was like and he'll put the details in here, but he sang, man, what was the James Taylor song? Wasn't You've Got a Friend? James Taylor song that started like in D and ended in A, and then there was a Commodore song like Why I'm Easy that starts in A and goes right. It was a natural segue.
80.
And I was like, that's awesome. No, it just sounded, he's really talented and a lot of fun.
I like
BJ Nelson, what party? What party wasn't I invited to? Oh, my goodness. BJ, even as busy as you are, you could not maintain my schedule. You just can't. It's. Am I wrong? The schedule is relentless. In fact, BJ, come to bingo tomorrow night, and I'll tell you.
I was at the lighted Christmas parade yesterday.
Smiley face, too easy.
There you go.
Yeah. It was good. I like the song Easy by the Commodores.
It's a good song.
I
I
like
like
it by
Christmas.
Martin
I like
Cepeda, too,
Christmas music, but James Taylor's Jingle Bells is just, I can't do it.
You don't like James Taylor?
I don't mind him as his version of Jingle Bells.
James Taylor was a guy that was kind of like a parody.
Bear with us on the No
Of the
Bull
rock
Network.
world.
Just got word there's a few network issues they're working on them this morning. So,
But
something you can hear
he
us.
really did. He did a lot of really cool stuff. We were talking about all the different folks singing. But what song was that? I did just talk chord progressions. What song was that Elton John? We were talking about the other day. Elton was a background singer on what song? I can hear it plain as day, but
Sing a little, I'll tell you.
no, I don't know. No, like, for example, how many of you knew that on Carly Simon's You're So Vain, that the primary background singer is Mick Jagger? Mick Jagger, if you listen to it, you'll never hear that song again. If you didn't know that, you'll never hear it the same again.
I think that song was written with Mick Jagger in mind.
He's in the background, Vine, doing his very high British. Yeah.
So what do you make of the social media ban in Australia? Kids 16 and under will not be allowed on social media. I'm curious as to how they're going to police this thing.
Well,
And I mean,
think it's
Facebook already
smart.
tells you got to be 13 to be on Facebook, and that doesn't get policed very well.
Oh, Bad Blood by Neil Sedaka. Elton John's the primary backup singer.
Okay.
Happened to be in the studio that day and decided, I'll jump in. How about that?
I bet that happens more often than people, or maybe
that's
used
when
to.
the magic happens. That's when the magic happens. You know, when you're there and you're going to cut your first solo and Merle Haggard walks in, that's not a bad deal. I think that the world is just now catching up to the impact of the internet. It was a wild, wild west scenario for so long where anything went, anything was able to be published, anything. And I think people are now saying, hey, wait a minute, much like a drug or much like alcohol, maybe this needs to be put in the hands of older people. For some reason, I thought you had to be a certain age to have a Facebook account anyway.
I thought 13 at one point.
You know, I don't look for the U.S. to jump into this, but I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think that the stuff, if I ask Caden, my 17-year-old, who is a good kid, hey, take me through some of this TikTok stuff. You can find some crazy stuff.
Amnesty International, young people have a right to express themselves online. While social media platforms' practices are harmful to younger users, young people also have a right to express themselves online,
Young people
access
have no rights.
information, and participate in the digital town square.
So young people only have the rights afforded them by their parents. I mean, they have no rights. You don't have a right to be on social media because you're 12.
This ban is already in effect in Australia. It went into effect December 10th, which is tomorrow here, but today there.
Yeah.
Because they're a day ahead of us.
I don't think there's anything wrong with regulation. I mean,
VPN sales have just gone through the
No
roof
doubt.
in Australia.
yeah. Somebody will make money off of it.
But here's the interesting thing. Social media provides, this is Amnesty International Program Director Damini Satya. Social media provides opportunities for inclusion. I think there's studies out there showing it does the exact opposite because kids stay at home and do nothing.
Right.
Connection is virtual. Creativity, there's some of that. I will agree.
I've had teachers at both East and West High School tell me that since the schools or since the state, thank you, Sheriff Louderback, since the state imposed regulations saying that cell phones were no longer able to be used in the public school, that the atmosphere has greatly increased.
Yeah.
Instead of kids literally walking by radar, literally, it used to be a sea of people walking down the hall on their devices. They now interact, speak, and talk to each other. If you don't think that this generation of kids affected by COVID, stuck at home for a year, back in school, on their phones all the time, if you don't think these people have mental issues, you're not really studying the big picture. And the idea that we've put the phone back in the backpack and basically say, you want to communicate, go talk to that person. I've been in rooms, y'all, where I've been in restaurants. Look around the restaurants when you're there. Everybody at the table's on a phone, and they're not talking to each other. Why do families sit down together for a meal and then talk to all their friends while they're eating together? I think you're looking at a whole different animal in the next. When these people start having kids, it's gonna be craziness.
Yeah. He says that social media provides opportunities for learning, health information. Let's not forget, this is one of the biggest contributors to the false narrative and the whole transgender issues. Listen to the stories of anybody who is now regretting their choice to transition.
Right.
They all started on social media.
You can certainly find support to do whatever you want to do on social media. Solid comment from unknown person, console 1228. I have no idea who that is. It's like with anything. It depends how you use it. A hammer can be a tool to build amazing things. Same way that a hammer, when misused, can commit murder. Yeah. No doubt
Appreciate
about
you checking in on YouTube. Like
Very
and
nice. Thank you.
subscribe. Thank you very much. Jarrett McCurgan checking in.
I love
Renee
to see
Metting.
the YouTube folks,
Gene
if you
Arterberry.
like and share the video. Hopefully the No Bull Network is straightened out now. These are growing pains that we're going through.
P. Strauss in Czechoslovakia, or maybe Czechia, maybe Slovakia.
P. Strauss, is he sitting in a restaurant and pronounce it for me? Will you-
Kutna Hora.
There you go. Having a cold beer. The food's been amazing. Good for you, P. Strauss.
Jealous that you're there, actually.
Well, I'm just
Cody
glad that
Bauman
you
said
still
when,
check in.
when Facebook started, it was actually 18 because it started. Little known fact, Mark Zuckerberg started it as a place for him to pick up women.
because if you've seen him, he's not attractive. He's so much cooler online. That was a long one. What did BJ tell us? BJ's sharp.
True, but having raised a child when social media was alive and well, it's really hard and changing so fast. It's hard to stay on top of. I'll post this other so you can see what she says too. I would have loved having the school ban on phones to help me as a parent. This is just the beginning of screens not being so prevalent in our schools, and this will be a true help for parents. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I do know this. I know this for a fact because I have several people in my life that I text throughout the day. The kids still rampantly use their phones at school. I do wish because I do believe in personal responsibility at the highest level, because it's a basically painless thing, but it is a law. I wish that it were enforced.
I don't get the need to be constantly in contact with your kids while they're in school. I mean, you and I walked, got dropped off, took the bus, and once we were there, that was it. We didn't talk to our parents till they got home from work after we got home from school.
When
I got home, I used to have to call.
Like it either.
When we got home, we used to have to call my mom at her work to let her know we got home from school. That was the only contact all day, unless one of us was sick, then the school nurse would call. That was it.
Tammy Williams says the bullying is also rampant. People say a lot of stuff behind a keyboard rather than in your face. Remember, this is also Tammy Williams, who used to drive a 4-speed Chevy Blazer with a 454 while smoking a ciggy with a long neck. I mean, she's grinding gears and spilling beers, man. She, nobody talked to her face like that.
They couldn't catch her face in that thing.
She 4.5 miles to the
didn't
gallon.
Didn't she have the Plymouth Roadrunner too?
So do the kids take to Facebook to talk about how mistreated they were with the social media?
That's more or less it. Fines of up to like 49.5 million Australian dollars. That's like $3
56 cents.
Yeah. Apparently they have to remove their accounts.
Pull this up. Just let me read a bit. This is from Melbourne. Riley Allen, a 15-year-old schoolboy living on an outback sheep ranch. How exciting is that unless you're Muslim? Doesn't know how he'll keep in touch with his circle of far-flung friends once Australia's world first ban takes effect on Wednesday. I don't think the impact will be very positive for us. We don't have a lot out here to get in contact with each other. Well, I mean, so why do you find the most obscure, most remote, because like everybody has a little sympathy for that kid. Bless his heart, he can't talk to his friends. But then again.
But all his friends aren't around him because he's met them online. Maybe if he walked the mile to the next ranch, he'd have a friend.
If he took a little walkabout, if he went on a little welter.
I mean, we're not even talking a complete generation. Go ask your dad how he made friends, or your mom. But there's the problem. The parents don't let their kids walk the neighborhood to visit their friends anymore.
Wow.
If they don't create the play date and drop them off, parents have destroyed kids' ability to socially interact because they've never been given the tools to socially interact. When you arrange all your play dates, you used to knock on your neighbor's door and call on your friends, right?
And they would all turn the lights off and pretend they weren't there.
Or you'd pick up the phone and go, hey, can Johnny come play? And then they'd be outside meeting you with a ball glove and you'd go play.
It's like being on Facebook and it shows all your friends are active now. And then like you send a couple of messages, active 2 minutes ago. Like they just leave. Tammy Williams says it was actually a 68 Corvette. But, let's shift gears.
But I think parents are as much to blame as the kids on social media because the parents, they haven't given the kids the tools to be socially interactive. They slap their phone in front of their kid's face when they go to dinner instead of teaching them how to act properly.
And I've literally seen kids that are in high chairs manipulate through a phone like it was no big deal. Let's take a break. I'll change gears on you.
All right.
Tomorrow night. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. No, Thursday night. We got to get through Wacky Wing Wednesday and Caldo Wednesday. Yes. Palace Bingo Thursday night, where friends meet friends. Surprise guests, people coming in from out of the country to play bingo, and we can't wait. USA Concrete Coatings, 578-HOME. Just call them. If it's got concrete, they can fix it. Went Services, Went for all your electrical needs. Let Went give you turnkey generator service. There you go. Pete Strauss says it's 2:18 in the afternoon. He's not morning drinking.
Hey, Patrick, you can't drink all day if you don't start.
You got to start early, brother. You can't really compete at the highest level. You got to get that stamina up. Are you drinking is it a local? Like, is everything over there kind of a, pub beer? Just give me a Pilsner. Is it that kind of deal?
Yeah.
Let us know. Shoot, call us. 894-4020. Atzenhofer and Atzenhofer.com. Atzenhofer for your next Chevrolet. Too cold to walk the lot
right now.
But go online, Put in the criteria you want. Something new, something certified, something used, less than 10,000 miles. I want it to be white. I want it to have leather. Ding, there's your car. Get with that's an offer. The best deals on wheels, no doubt about it. Back to Wint. Turnkey generator service. You need that. You want that. It's like the Marine Corps of generators. Para Vita Wellness and the Vita Cafe inviting you to come in and not be so fat. I'm not fat shaming. I'm just observing. Get in there. Let's all lose that cellulose come 26. Gluten-free, preservative-free, high protein, low carb, whatever you want. Give Erica Briggs your macros, and she'll fix it.
Lots of boudin and steak at the chopping block this week. It's a steak and boudin bonanza. $12 strip steaks are back. That's a great price given how expensive beef is right now.
Yeah.
So habanero boudin, $7.99 a pound. That's actually really
It's
good.
really
Yeah.
good.
It's not that, but I like the El Jefe, and that one's $79.
What I like is when John Turner tells you, well, this one's spicy. It's spicy for people that like spicy. You get stuff all the time. Oh, that one's hot, and then you eat it and you go, that's not hot. I mean, I'm not asking you. They don't make it for the masses. It is boutique boudin, and it is really good.
They've got a chili
Really,
pekin
really
one that's really good that I think is spicier than the El Jefe, and the El Jefe is supposed to be the spicy one. So
I don't
anyway.
think P. Strauss is going to call us from
wouldn't
Europe.
I wouldn't blame him either.
I can see no good reason he wouldn't. He's on that AT&T plan that lets you call from anywhere on the globe. We're worth a $5 phone call. We've never had a call from
Prague,
wherever that is. I want to know where he is. I want to hear it straight from P. Strauss. 894-4020. Just begging here. Let's shift gears. And
Kutna Hora.
yeah, sure. You know how to say it. You
I
say it
don't
like
know.
it's in Spanish.
That probably is.
Or what would that be? Kutna Hora. You say like, I'm from Sweden. My name is Olga. Anyway.
I'm sure I mispronounced it.
From
It's all part of the ruse. If I pronounced it correctly, I'd have to kill you.
we owe an apology. I don't like to do this. We owe an apology. We were right again. We were right again, way ahead of the Main Street media, telling you that there was rampant fraud in Minnesota, eh? We talked about it, 3-4 weeks ago?
Somewhere in there, yep.
You'd found
I think
two incidences that added up to millions of dollars.
Yeah, roughly about 30 million. Now we're talking billions, and it hasn't. And it's just and the slope is just.
Let me just give you some skinny on what's going on in Minnesota, and then you tell me that it could never happen here. That's not ever going to happen in Texas. So the Somalis that have kind of taken over Minnesota, 80,000 people, and they're Americans. 80,000 American Somalis or Somali Americans in Minnesota. Hi, Jeff Finley.
Morning, Jeff.
These
Hi, Marina.
folks, several years ago, when just gutless, spineless, worthless Timmy Waltz became governor, the then a female attorney general of Minnesota, who had been tough on crime, she had been, as attorney general, prosecuting fraud in the Somali daycare sector to the tune of millions of dollars. She runs against Tim Walz. So the Somalis are anti this lady, 80,000 of them. Tim Walz wins the governorship with a 52% of the vote victory. A former United States congressman named Keith Ellison runs for attorney general of Minnesota and vows that no more investigations will be begun without crossing his desk. The majority whip in Congress, Tom
Emmer.
Said this morning that since Keith Ellison became Attorney General of Minnesota, there have been exactly 0 new investigations into corruption in Minnesota, and specifically in the Somali community.
Ellison has been Attorney General in that state since 2019.
They have now uncovered one newspaper to show you how leftist Minnesota has become, said that Trump aired that it was not quite $1 billion. Trump said, hey, they've stolen $1 billion up there.
Yeah.
And
Well, 3 weeks ago when we first started reporting on this, I think the total was 28 million.
yeah, it was 28 million when you first reported it. We've got those idiots that listen to this show too. You know, say it's $1 billion. Well, actually, it was
950 million.
million. You know, don't be a bonehead. Look at the big picture.
Ash math, we round up.
And Emmer, I mean, this is a sitting United States congressman.
Oh, the party whip, by the way, in the House.
He said Ilhan Omar is such a fraud and such a con artist. The man who ran for mayor of Minneapolis was part of Ilhan's clan in Somalia. His opponent is a Somali from a warring clan in Somalia. This is like the Bloods and the Crips, and Somalia is like the prison, and these are the ones that are on the street. And these people, we told you back then, they're corrupt by nature. They lie as a way of getting by. I'm at the point, now I'm going to give you tomorrow's news today. We gave this to you way before it blew up and it is one of the top stories of the day today.
And if you think it's happening only in Minnesota, you're completely
No.
wrong. And I think they've just caught the Somalis. Apparently, there's similar investigations going on in Maine. When I did some research, there were a few arrests back in like 2018 of some Somalis in Maine for some smaller fraud. This is a playbook they've been given, and I wouldn't be surprised if the architect of this playbook is Ilhan Omar.
No, I think 100%. And so this Tom Emmer, who I don't know anything about his religious background, but he gets on there and talks about, what's the guy's name that's Stephen, he's a negotiator for Trump, Stephen.
Oh, Witkoff?
No, I'm thinking Steve Wilson.
Oh,
Doesn't matter. There's a guy that's involved in negotiations on things, and who happens to be Jewish, by the way. That's the kicker to the deal. This guy's Jewish. And Ilhan Omar gets on the media, and this is Emmer talking, says he gets on the media, and she talks about Stephen Miller. Thank you, Greg Garcia. We have the smartest and the most helpful listeners. Stephen Miller, and she'll say, oh, Stephen Miller's just so mean and vindictive, and he's so anti-Semitic. Well, he's Jewish. Stephen Miller sounds like Hitler when he talks. That's what she said about him. And Emmer said, you can't overestimate how anti-Semitic. He said, I have witnessed Ilhan Omar on Minnesota college campuses basically inciting violence. What the congressman said about Ilhan Omar. And these people, I'm telling you, tomorrow's news today is this. They, in Somalia, they're right on the Cape. They're right there on what they call it, the Horn of Africa. I guarantee you that Trump has a play. And I'll guarantee you that that play involves an American investment into Somalia, and that in return is going to be one of those deals like he offered Zelensky, Ash, where I want 65% of what our mining company uncovers. And you can have 35%. It's going to turn your country into a garden spot. Everybody wants to be you. It's coming. Write it down. Carter told me on December the 9th, there'll be an American investment into Somalia in search of precious minerals, essential elements, gold, silver, oil, gas. Write it down.
Well, listen to this. The Treasury Department is now investigating whether any of this money, the fraudulent money that was stolen from us, the taxpayers, to the tune of almost $1 billion, has made it into the coffers of Somali's Al Qaeda faction. And all Ilhan Omar has to say about that is, if the money went from them to Al Qaeda, it's the fault or a failure of the FBI.
There's a group over there in Somalia called like Al Shabood or something like that. And what they're wanting to do, and I was proud of Tom.
Al-Shabaab.
Al-Shabaab. That sounds like a doo-wop group. Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab.
The Knack sang that song.
Right?
Al-Shabaab.
They are saying that we should tax, what do you call it when you send
The money, yeah, the payments that they send.
that. And Emmer says, look, if you're an American and you're a Somalian, implant, and you're paying your taxes and you're working and you want to send money to your family in Somalia, I'm all for that. I don't necessarily need to overtax that. I'm not against that. That's your money. You do it. But if you can't guarantee me that none of that money is going through the hands of Al-Shabaab, then I want to tax it heavily, because we need money to fight Al-Shabaab. Somalia is not some type of a military threat to the U.S., but they're clearly a cultural threat to the U.S.
Well, and again, the context matters, and all the left has on this, because the theft is amazing. $1 billion, and it's going to go up. You watch. This thing's going to get closer to 10 billion before it's all over.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
And here's the thing. Whistleblowers tried to go after the government a long time ago, and they were shut down. They were retaliated against. They were forced from their jobs.
Yeah. Because the left was in control. Tim Walz, he may come off as, kind of a Tim Conway, Elmer Fudd, bumbling kind of idiot. Folks, he's right in the middle of this. And some of you were that close to electing that man.
He was told about
the second highest office.
And then he went and weaponized his state government office against the state government employees who were blowing the whistle on the fraud. He fired them. He destroyed their lives because they were doing the right thing. Yeah. And not a government official in the state of Minnesota to this point, as long as I'm aware of right now, or as much as I'm aware of, has resigned in the wake of this. They're all circling the wagons, and they're all making excuses.
Yeah. Oh, they'll blame Donald Trump on this for somehow.
But they're not taking any responsibility, because they're hoping the investigation stops before it starts to show just how complicit the government officials in Minnesota are, how fraudulent this thing is.
Well, is it
and how possible? Much money went from these programs into the pocketbooks of the government officials. You watch when this all unravels. There's going to be huge graft and payback to the government officials that were overseeing these programs.
In other news, Ilhan Omar reported to have a net worth now of pushing $30 million. Yeah. Do you think, Renee, I apologize, you're right. She said, I just insulted Elmer Fudd. I've seen the pictures of, they try to make Tim masculine. They put him in a red plaid, like hunting flannel.
Looks like
give him a shotgun.
Yeah, he looks like a table at an Italian
He kind of holds the shotgun with his fingers, like, I'm holding it, but I don't like guns, yeah.
And then all they can say is, Donald Trump called the people garbage. You know what? If you're involved in scamming the American people out of $1 billion, you are garbage. Not everybody, but those involved, that's the context that they completely, purposely left out of Donald Trump's comments.
The one thing I will share with you on that, Tomko says Omar got investment advice from Nancy Pelosi. I listen to the president as often as I can, because it kind of tells me what the future is going to be. He is playing chess. His administration is playing chess while you think you're watching checkers. For example, the Venezuela stuff, it's not really about drugs. It's about crippling the Venezuelan cash flow. That's what it's about. And what's going on with these folks in Minnesota, the corruption and the level of corruption, it is impossible for Timmy Waltz to even utter that he didn't know anything. Because either he's complicit, he's involved, or he's totally inept. Because if you didn't know, you should know where over $1 billion went out of your state budget.
There was a tweet over the weekend from I think one of the Minnesota State Departments who said they told Tim Walz personally about this, and he did nothing.
But here's the funny thing about
you had an
left.
attorney general who ran on a campaign promise to not prosecute or go after Somali criminals.
To get those 80,000 votes, to get those 200,000 votes or those 80,000 votes in Minnesota. And those 80,000 votes got both Tim Waltz and Keith Ellison.
And I don't think it's just the Somalis, folks. I think this is the tip of the iceberg right now. I think we're going to find that a lot of folks that have come into this country in the last 30 years that have set up these little enclaves everywhere, they've been following the same playbook. You hide and watch. This is going to be huge in California if they ever get somebody that could actually get into that government and start looking at this stuff.
Well, you get a smart guy that knows how to set up the fraud, and the next thing you know, he just gets a little piece of it.
Yeah.
And if that happens to be a member of Congress who can say, y'all are just being rude to me, y'all are being racist to me.
How about the former DEA agents up in high-ranking DEA agents up in Boston, I think, that I saw over the weekend? 2 of them arrested and charged with laundering money for the cartel, setting up real estate buys, taking a piece of that, putting the money back into legitimate businesses, taking a piece of that back. They knew it because they were working for the DEA on the financial side of things. They used to trace all the finances to get the cartel members.
Absolutely. I wonder why, Junior, I agree with you. He says, my question is, how come we are not putting these people behind bars? Can't disagree.
White-collar crime. They don't have any victims. That's what they'll claim, and they'll spend 18 months in Club Fed, and then they'll be let go. Yeah. Meanwhile, they've hid the money somewhere, and they come out and they live like paupers. I mean, like princes, not paupers.
Linda Chris, lying right next to Junior in the same bed on her laptop, says, I think we'll spend a lot of taxpayer dollars to find out what happened. Then, like always, do nothing.
No, they sit on their matching recliners and watch us on the big 85-inch Samsung in their living room.
Is that a black kid? You know, the thing that I don't look good in 4K. Let's put it that way. I don't know why it is.
We're so mad at Doge finding fraud. Now the Dems are circling around to try to defend.
But
they're just hardworking people. Yeah, they're working hard. It's stealing our money.
Yeah. So is the cat burglar. Wouldn't the Dems at least salvage some credibility or build some credibility if just once they showed outrage at one of their own? I mean, why is it? We've talked about it here for years. They can be wrong, but they're all together and they're wrong. It's like going to one of these little stupid protests that they have every now and then. They've all got a sign. Nobody's out there inquisitive. Nobody's out there to learn anything. They are bought in. Whatever the cause of the week is from the National Democrat Party, our local hateful 8, they all get together. They make their little homemade signs. It's like a pep rally for retards. I don't know what you do with it. I don't know how you fix it. Very interesting to me that nobody on the left, there's not one, Chuck Schumer, who used to campaign, I can find you the videos, we've got to stop illegal immigration in this country. When Obama was in office, that's what he talked about. Now he wants an open border. We're all just, carpetbaggers here in the country, especially white people. But now where are they? Where is somebody going, Tim, you need to resign? They would be on Donald Trump to resign. Hell, Pete Hegseth gets accused of killing a couple of drug dealers. They want him to resign.
They impeached Ken Paxton.
Nobody. nobody on the left is having any outrage that a 4 or 5 time married, which doesn't make her
Maybe
a bad
to her
person,
brother
but
somewhere
that's
along the
point.
way.
She's an opportunistic spouse
Fraudulent.
coming here.
Allegedly.
Come on, Ilhan. Boy, I'd love to get her on the show. She got on the radio the other day and said, oh, if there's corruption, we're going to uncover it. That's terrible. That's just her. She's a liar. She's right in the middle of it, orchestrating it.
I guarantee it.
Yep. So remember tomorrow's news today. The U.S. at some point soon will announce a major investment. I believe in the people of Somalia. They want to do well. I don't want to do bad. I want to do good. It's coming. You watch.
Junior says, let's give the police department, ICE, and all the federal investigators 6 months off and let the people handle this problem. Problem is, in Minnesota, the people won't handle this problem.
What did BJ say? She's a smart lady.
When the melting pot wasn't the norm anymore, you don't have a country. You have little foreign kingdoms throughout our country. This is why we need election reform to make sure elections are honest. And more than that, we need the Americans who want to do the right thing voting. I think
That's right.
I need to do another voter registration drive with Wade and Carter like she did 6 years ago.
Please do. And BJ, help me out with some dates and times. We've got it coming up soon, Ash. The bunny, no, did we have that paperwork here? The bunny pounds, the America Reads the Bible. Do you remember the dates?
It's in April.
It's in April. Okay, just want to make sure we're on top of that. If you haven't gone to America Reads the Bible, I think .org, but find it. America Reads the Bible.
You Google search
org,
it's going to be right there.
U.S., whatever you want to put. Find it. If you think
.com.
That's big time. Isn't
April 18th to the 25th in DC, but
That's
it'll
like
be streamed live.
FBS. That's like group of.
Yeah.
If you really want to make a difference, help support that.
Should we take our next break?
We can. Is that somebody that wants to come on the program?
No, I think they're doing some work up here.
All right. Work. What's
I
that?
don't know. Allen's Record Service, they do work.
578-6300. Alan can get you from here to there.
We're
Yeah.
there to hear.
Yeah. There you go. Alan's Record Service. Great people. Long time. You can take, love you long time. Tell you long time. They will take care of you.
Hopefully it's a short time.
Allen's Record Service. No, they do great work. They're all over too. I tell the story. Torrin Bell's daughter had a flat, called me. I gave him the number. And before Torrin got to Gonzales, they had dispatched a vehicle from Gonzales and got her out there by Lake McQueenie and took care of her. And Torrin was like, man, that was fast. They said, well, we were right here. We were in Gonzales. So they're in the region. They're all over the place. You need them. Let's talk about white trash services. White trash. I called
They're
BJ Nelson.
in the region. You need them. If you're in the country and you need trash collection services provided, there's nobody better than white trash. I speak from personal experience. They were always there.
Always on time.
When the city said, well, we can't get there because the roads are icy, white trash never made an excuse.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, I think, is the only day they ever took off.
BJ Nelson says, and this is White Trash Services, the owners, Scott and BJ Nelson. Scott and I will be attending the first couple of days in D.C. for the reading of the Bible from the Museum of the Bible. If you're interested in attending, contact BJ. You can dial 550-1826. Talk to a human being, not somebody that says, press 1 now for English. Come on. Call and talk to White Trash Services, and they can hook you up with the details on America Reads the Bible. Cheswick Furniture, Cheswick and Love, make your house a home.
I'm going to see Bobby Leon tonight, actually.
Fantastic. Get by and see why you just always do better at Cheswick. Bobby can help you with bedding, furniture, appliances,
Dining room sets,
anything you need.
bedroom sets, they've got it all.
Go by and see Bobby Leon. Have we talked about the First State Bank of Louise in a while? I was in the other
We talked
day.
about Verlander yesterday, wanting to kind of politicking to get back to the Astros to wrap up his career.
I mean, he could.
Scooball's going to be gone from Detroit, apparently. They're looking to trade him, and so he doesn't want to go back there. He'll have no chance of winning without that guy.
I'm really, really thinking more and more about trading Yordan Alvarez and Hunter Brown. Isn't that Hunter Brown? Yeah, they're talking about the winter meetings for the
apparently the
Astros.
Astros showing some interest in Shane Baz from the Tampa Bay Rays.
I think there's a chance.
Let's see.
If you traded Hunter Brown, you may think I'm crazy, but here's the deal. We have control of him this year and next. So let's say I traded him. I'm making this up. Let's say I traded him to who's the big-time right fielder that give me a big-time
Tucker?
No, better player.
Judge?
I was thinking for the Yankees. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Bellinger?
No, but a guy like that, a top-line outfielder, and a young pitcher, the next Hunter Brown. I'll trade Brown and Yordan Alvarez for those guys. I'd love to find a all-star second baseman, a Gold Glove second baseman. I'll bet Altuve is my DH because Alvarez is gone.
I think that's why they traded Dubon to the Braves. I think Dana Brown thinks this guy, former first year, could get into that form.
You think
I think he's got a Gold Glove.
He's going to catch lightning in a bottle like Cam Smith.
He won a Gold Glove, I think.
Is that his name, Cam Smith?
The guy in right, yeah.
Who's on first? Okay. But I'm thinking if we can do that.
Walker.
You're not going to say, here's why. I love Hunter Brown. I think Hunter Brown could be the next, Justin Verlander. But he does too. And his agent really does. And after this next year, he's going to declare for free agency. After this next year, he's going to want to break the bank. And he will. He is due as a young man. He went 12-2 or something, like 1-8, something stupid. He was a great year. Cy Young finalist. This is the kind of kid who could explode and literally put a team on his back, and the Astros are not going to want to pay $40 million a year. He's going to want an 8-year deal worth $320 million. That's what he's going to want.
I think they're not so gun shy from Verlander, but I think they're still gun shy about giving money to a guy that's a homegrown pitching talent because of the Lance McCullers issues.
Yeah, and that would be Hunter Brown.
Yeah.
I love it.
So somebody else will give him a bunch of money to off and do great things.
So there's a great example right there. Let's just say that Hunter Brown's life follows the path of Lance McCullers Jr. Lance was hurt, 5 seasons ago? He had a great, 2019? Great player. Tears up his arm, tears up his shoulder, tears up his elbow. The next thing you know, he's making only, fortunately, $15 million a year, but he gives you on average nothing. Yeah. He's nothing. I don't dislike the guy. It's not his fault he got hurt.
No.
Dana Brown dislikes him. You can bet he looks at him.
I think he's just disappointed but Dana Brown didn't give him that contract either.
What is this? Dodgers rumors?
Yeah,
surge.
Apparently they're after Jake Myers. Jake Myers apparently has a lot of interest from quite a few, but the Dodgers apparently the latest, according to Brian McTaggart. Brian McTaggart now writes for MLB. He used to be the Chronicle beat writer for the Astros. He knows his thing. If McTaggart
He's got inside info.
Yeah, I think if McTaggart says it, there's probably a more than 50-50 likelihood that Jake Myers could be gone.
I would share with you that if Jake Myers is a player that I believe came into his own last year. He developed a very consistent bat. So now I've got, this is when I wish I had Dubon back.
Last year, I think he only hit 228.
Go look at it for me.
Wow. No, 292 last year.
There you go. The
last 4 years, last 4 seasons was 228.
So see, he found his bat last year. Thank you for confirming what I thought I knew. I think that if you trade him, you've got to get a starting pitcher. What about that little Asian dude that the Dodgers have?
Oh, he ain't going anywhere.
Well, then they can't have Jake.
There's Funky Trey Molina checking in. Bobby Leister, good morning.
What if I throw Alvarez in there and I let Alvarez bat behind Ohtani? You think they'd have to pitch to the big man? You think they'd have to pitch to Ohtani?
But I don't know that Alvarez bats number 2 in the lineup.
Well, that's true too. I forgot about it. But then you got Freeman. Man, the Dodgers are loaded, folks. That's a good ball club. I visited with a guy from Atlanta the other night, and he just said, man, we miss Freddie Freeman. What a fine, fine guy.
And apparently the Astros also looking at maybe getting the what's his name?
Sounds like
Yeah,
two
the
syllables.
Gore kid from I say kid.
Al Gore.
Yeah. Mackenzie Gore from the Nationals. See, that's the problem. The Nationals are so bad. Nobody knows anybody on that team that's any good.
Right.
Under team control for next year and for 2 more years, and he's only going to make $6.5 million.
Well, that is the sad truth of now. You know, back in the day, like when you're thinking about doing trading cards, you could look at stats because everybody made $100,000. But now you got guys that are locked in. He's got a 10-year deal, and you've got to think about what if he gets hurt. Major League Baseball money is fully earned on the day you sign the contract. You sign a 15-year. Ohtani signed a $700 million deal. If he loses his arm,
deferred a lot of that though. But
still they'd owe him.
Yeah,
they'd owe him forever.
Look at Bobby Bonilla.
Yep.
Still getting paid
Bobby Bonilla Day.
every July 1.
He was a genius.
What do you make of Jasmine Crockett?
Not much.
Finally, I mean, we've talked a little bit about this because we've heard the rumors, but she finally filed apparently yesterday, and will join the U.S. Senate race. So there goes James Tallarico's opportunity.
Tallarico's done, but I just don't think there's enough brothers in Houston to elect Jasmine Crockett to the United States Senate. I just don't. I don't think there is. I mean, Colin Allred bowed out. I mean, I think that you're going to see who'd she be running against, either Paxton or Wesley Hunt or
Cornyn.
Yeah. You know what's scary about that? You might almost need to put Cornyn back in there to beat her.
One of our listeners got mad at you for referring to Abbott as Hot Wheels or Wheels, and
that's because they're ignorant.
I wonder if there's the same outrage towards Crockett, who consistently refers to Abbott as that as well.
Yeah, well, that's, folks, you've got to understand that when these folks are on the road, they have code names. I mean, I think like Bill Clinton's code name was Wandering Eye. No, I don't know that. Might have been Big Mac. I don't know. Blue dress,
Fries,
the devil in the blue dress. I'm just telling you that there have been times in our state when Governor Abbott was known as Wheels. It's not a put down. The man's in a wheelchair.
It is when you say it. It's not
Right,
when Jasmine
because
Crockett says it.
They're ignorant. What I don't like about Jasmine Crockett is the hypocrisy of, and in my mind, she has lowered herself to the lowest common denominator. She is a highly private school educated woman. She is an attorney. She ran for an open seat. That's how a lot of these folks get in. Somebody died.
Election,
she was in a special election, or somebody went to the Senate, whatever they did. And Jasmine Crockett went in, and I've heard interviews with her when she joined the state house. She was so articulate and refreshing. And although I didn't agree with her politics, I respected her the first time I heard her speak. And now, I'm not exaggerating. I can't imitate enough Ebonics to adequately.
She's playing a role now.
She's become a ghetto hoe. Yo, man, what's up, man? Donald Trump, we ain't putting up with that beep. We ain't doing that beep.
But Trump has to act presidential, but
right.
Yeah.
She is the most, she is like trying to endear herself to one of the smallest population of minority groups in this country that historically doesn't vote. I think she's grossly misinterpreting her role as a public servant. Quick sports announcement, not that it matters.
Rhodes College, Texas Southern, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, which is coming under fire of late.
Well, yeah.
And then UH Law School.
C.J. Baxter, to me, often hurt, somewhat non-consequential. Texas running back is entering the transfer portal after 3 seasons with the Longhorns. He's a former 5-star recruit. He was Big 12 Newcomer of the Year in 23, but injuries have since hampered his productivity. I wish him Godspeed. He's a fine young man. Everything I've heard about him is good. He's really close to graduating. But as a football player, he won't be missed. I mean, he won't. He's hurt all the time. He hasn't done anything for us. Yeah.
What else? Southwest Airlines, $140 million settlement. The federal government apparently waived the $11 million fine for some of that scheduling issues back in December of 2022, I think, when they had software issues blow up.
Anheuser-Busch, the InBev that owns them, has acquired an 85% stake in Austin-based wine producer Beatbox for $490 million.
Wow.
Founded in 2011, the company secured a $1 million investment from Mark Cuban during a 2014 episode of Shark Tank. What makes that so
according to the
genius?
Houston Chronicle. I wonder how much of that company Cuban still owns.
Oh, I bet he's got 50% of it. So think about this. If you're Mark Cuban and you've got money to loan or money to invest, for him it's gambling. That's what it is. Cuban sets up a TV show where he gets paid to be on it, probably owns part of it. And then he gets people to come and pitch ideas to him like scrub daddies and all that stuff. And these guys compete for a percentage of it. And he's a billionaire. He gives away $1 million here, $2 million there for 50%. And then he spins around as like the chairman of their board for a couple of years. And if just one of them hits, in this case, if he owns 50% of that, he picks up $240 million for a $1 million investment. Let's just say it's all said and done. He gets $200 million of that $490 million. It's a pretty good rate of return.
Absolutely.
And it makes up for all the little ones that he missed along the way.
This from the We Told You So department. Yep. Jimmy Kimmel just signed a 1-year extension with ABC. We called this as a publicity stunt.
Absolutely.
ABC isn't signing Kimmel to a 1-year extension if his ratings continue to tank. What happened? They pulled him off the air, saying that his monologue about Charlie Kirk was
the left
bad.
Went nuts. We hate Charlie Kirk. He's anti-Semitic.
This was all contrived by ABC
Absolutely.
to get Kimmel's ratings back up, and now they've extended him because ratings are back up.
And by the way, Jimmy Kimmel is a shameless whore, and that's okay. He's an entertainer. Listener replies, his nickname should be, speaking of Governor Abbott, I spent Texans' tax dollars shipping illegals where Democrats wanted them in a plot to gain more House seats instead of turning them around and sending them home. That's one way to look at it.
It's not wrong.
Yeah. Brian Small says of one Bill Clinton, can you hear the Secret Service? Cigar. Cigar is on the move. No kidding.
Absolutely.
Would you give a Tipperello to a lady? Remember those commercials?
I don't know.
That's true. It was like it was those little cigars that had like the little plastic tip. Would you give a Tipperello to a lady?
I remember the cigars. I don't remember those ads.
Not to be confused with the Tallarico.
No.
That guy who claims that he's a minister while he's talking about
Listen to CNN spin this one. The Supreme Court appears ready to back Donald Trump's argument that he should have the authority to fire members of independent government agencies. And then apparently our Supreme Court justices were out on the liberal side, were out on the campaign trail saying that it appears that the Supreme Court is going to basically give presidential power back to the president. The power is prescribed to the presidential branch, the executive branch in the Constitution, going to go back to the president. And these liberal justices are mad, in my opinion, because the courts have had way too much running of this government and this country in my lifetime, certainly, if not longer. And that's what they're mad about. They're going to lose the power.
One thing while we're still on Magic 95.9, Magic 95.9 this week, helping promote Ramirez Transmission is going to have a lunch to benefit our veterans. OTM Services out of Inez helped me find 2 porta potties and a wash station like that. If you have a need for porta potties or a wash station at your business, call OTM Services in Inez. It's called On the Move. They used to be a trucking company. I thought On the Move, that's kind of a fun name for a porta potty.
Technically, something is when you're using the porta potty.
Absolutely, something's on the move. Folks, we've reached the top of the hour. I'll tell you more about OTM tomorrow, but hope you guys have a great day. Be safe out there. It's not all doom and gloom. And remember that you always hear tomorrow's stories today here, straight from the source at Wade & Carter. Have a great day, folks.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
Yourself